changes in the marine life of the UK.
Well, let's speak now to Mikhail Robertson, who is a senior advisor to the Alliance of Small Island States, who joins us from St Kitts. Mikhail, good to see you. What effect does the rising sea temperatures have on these small islands?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. I think one thing to kind of get clear is that our entire economies as small islands are centered around the ocean. So if the ocean feels pain, so too does our small islands. And we've always been the sort of canary in the coal mine, to use that bad pun, in the context of climate change and the effects of climate change. So things like our culture and our identity, so our way of life, as well as our income and our livelihoods, as I said, because of our economies being connected to the ocean. So whether it be fisheries, whether it be tourism, agriculture, even just sentimental things like being able to go off to the beach and sort of connect with a coral reef. If you have a bleached coral reef, there are no fishes around that. That's sort of well-being and sentiment, is completely lost when we have these issues of continued record warmings.
So the need for climate action is obviously urgent for these small island states, but is there any financing that's happening globally at the moment that is helping these small communities?
No, so it's trickling. It's trickling, and there's discussions on how we go about creating a new goal for those who provide this type of financing, in order for it to move from, supposedly it's in the billions, but to move it to be into the trillions. The issue with all of that billions and trillions discussion is that SIDS have very poor access to that finance, right? Due to a number of barriers that are put in front of these small islands, as well as other developing countries. And so there are massive issues of accessing that money, but also the type of money that's provided, that's considered to be financing to address climate change, is not on great terms. So essentially, quite a third of them, so an Oxfam report recently highlighted that a third of that type of financing that goes to small islands are loans. So loans that essentially those who provide the loans get interest on. And so SIDS are basically paying for their responses to climate change, and others are profiting off of it, typically a lot of developed countries. So we need to see a change in not only us accessing more of this finance, but making sure that finance is fit for purpose for an issue that we had basically nothing to do in relation to its contribution.
A lot to be done and a lot to be fixed, it seems. Mikhail Robertson, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Prince Harry is here in the UK to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of his